Hello everybody and welcome back once again to the Brawl for All Pro Wrestling Show. This is episode 57. I am joined this week by Cdub from Chronochord Media. What is up, man?
Not much, man. Getting ready for that holiday season, getting in the festive mood. Man, I really enjoyed TLC Raw as well as Nxt Takeover London. Just a fantastic week to be a pro wrestling fan.
It certainly was, and we're going to run through here and give off those things that we enjoyed about TLC, Raw, and NXT, and then some news. And then if you stay tuned to our episodes, the next episode that we will be uploading will be our year-end awards. Make sure you go check that out as well. I can't wait to do that.
Most definitely.
But yeah, if you want to run through with me, we'll go through TLC, and, you know, if anybody listens, they know what's going on by now. So
yes.
We'll give the results of what we thought of each match or so.
Yes.
TLC, it was pretty damn good, really.
Yeah, man, it kicked off right off the bat on the pre-show with a fantastic match between Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks. Man, I feel like that this match should have been on the main card instead of the Divas Championship match we had later on, Charlotte versus Paige.
I feel the same. Both of them wrestled their ass off out there and actually made it look like the Divas can actually go. To the casual fan who doesn't watch NXT, they probably seen one of the best matches of the year right there.
Most definitely. Props to Sasha and Becky.
Sasha always can pull off a good match, but Becky's good too. So we had the backstage interview with League of Nations on the pre-show too, but did you notice that Lana was with her? I wanted to know.
Yes, absolutely. I did notice Lana was there.
With them, not with her.
Yes, I noticed Lana was there, as well as Bad News Barrett. And to my knowledge, we can go ahead and discuss this news.
Yeah, this was one of the notes I had. Barrett apparently injured.
Yeah, that after that promo at TLC, that was the last we saw of Bad News Barrett. And you know, Jeff, I noticed in that promo that they were really banging on that table. Maybe Bad News Barrett banged on the table too hard and re-injured his shoulder.
I would not bet against that. They have yet to disclose anything about his injury.
That could mean that it's a concussion because, as I understand, WWE now has a policy to not announce whenever concussions happen.
So there's nothing disclosed that I have seen yet. It's still just saying, is Barrett injured with a question mark, so that I saw.
We'll have to hopefully bring you guys an update on that next week.
But he has not been with the League of Nations, not even at TLC or Raw. So to move on from that to the main card, we had a great, the best kickoff you could have all year. Lucha Dragons, New Day, Usos in the three-way ladder match. I said it was going to be a barn burner, man, and this definitely was. It was awesome. New Day ended up winning with Kofi grabbing the belts. We called it. New Day retaining. Help by Xavier Woods, who was on commentary. I wondered what his role would be, but he got up there and helped by throwing the trumpet at Kalisto's back and
Trombone.
Trombone.
And okay. I have to jump in here and say, man, this match, like you said, was an awesome kickoff to TLC. Xavier Woods on commentary. Honestly, I wish they would do that every single week, whether it's the entirety of the New Day or just Xavier Woods. Man, the biggest thing to talk about in this match that I think everybody was left speechless by was that Salida del Sol from Kalisto through the ladder.
Yeah, that was
amazing.
Yes, it was. And did you notice that the psychology in this match was great all the way through, which they really kind of told a story in this match, which I really liked about it.
Absolutely.
They didn't do spots just for nothing. They made everything mean something.
Absolutely, man. All three teams were in there and really going at each other, trying to prevent each other from grabbing the belt.
Yeah, it wasn't just a spot fest like you are used to.
No, absolutely. These guys were all working together really, really well. I'm hoping that we see some more matches like this, multi-team tag team matches, because right now the tag team division in WWE is better than it's been probably since about the 1980s, I would say.
And we need to get the Dudleys and the Wyatts in there for some big TLC match.
Most definitely. I mean, that was another fantastic era of WWE tag team wrestling, was whenever the Dudleys, Edge and Christian, and the Hardys were in there. And I gotta say, this TLC match, it was different than all the other TLC matches. There were things that you saw that were different, and it was good in its own way. It wasn't just a clone of other TLC matches.
You're referring to the one they had this night.
Yes, absolutely.
That was
TLC.
the other match that was great. Rusev with Lana and Ryback. Ryback passed out to the camel clutch. The accolade, I should say. Wasn't very big on that match.
No, me either, man. I mean, Rusev has been devalued so much by the Dolph Ziggler, Lana, Summer Rae thing, and I mean, Ryback, I just don't get behind him, man. He comes out with all this merch on, and he's just like hawking wristbands and necklaces and beanies and whatever the hell he's got, the latest T-shirt. Ryback, I mean, he's improved, and I don't mean to crap on him, but there's something about him that just makes me not care and makes me not really want to get into his matches.
I totally agree. Not into Ryback whatsoever. I'm not into Rusev either, even if they have Lana with him.
And that's what sucks, man, because Rusev was built so strongly
right
in 2014 and early 2015, and then as soon as John Cena beat him at Mania, man, it's all gone downhill from there.
Yeah, I could care less about him now. So moving on from that, we have Alberto Del Rio, Jack Swagger for the U.S. title, chairs match. Double foot stomp onto the chair for the win by Del Rio was pretty impressive. A lot better than what I thought it would be this match.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Again, Del Rio is somebody that I'm not really much of a fan of, but this was a pretty good match.
He's been doing a hell of a job, though, lately. You cannot count his work out.
No, absolutely not, man. I mean, in ring, he's fantastic.
He's
a veteran.
Been. He's better than he was before.
Yeah, I agree.
He can have some hellacious matches with some guys right now.
I think it's just to me that the whole Mex America re-debut thing with Zeb Coulter, who he's not with anymore, of course.
I think he's better off now.
I think he's better off, but I mean, it's just, I don't know, something about Del Rio.
He does have a nice mean streak, though, that he didn't have before.
Yeah, I mean, something about Del Rio I've just never really liked all that much, but hey, right now the roster's kind of thin, so I understand bringing him back.
Yep. Wyatt's won the tag team tables elimination match. It was a tables match, right? It wasn't a TLC.
Awesome
you
match,
called it
dude.
a TLC.
No, just a tables match.
Okay.
What a freaking great match
that was freaking awesome, but the next night, man, was even almost better.
Yes, there was a rematch on Raw that was also fantastic. We'll get into here in a little bit.
Yep, so that match was great. Kevin Owens, Dean Ambrose IC title. Ambrose wins the IC title with a roll-up. I was ecstatic to see Ambrose actually win the match.
I was too, man.
I was shocked.
I was super into this match. I liked that Kevin Owens and Dean Ambrose went out there and had a hell of a match. I felt like that was the best match of the night, along with the Wyatts and the opening match, the tag team ladder match.
It was a great match.
I mean, really, there was just a lot of great matches on this card. To me, there was only a couple of bummers.
Right. Ambrose, is this his first IC title reign? Was that a US that he had with the Shield, or was that an IC?
Yes. Okay. Yes, that was a United States title over a year ago. This is his first.
So this is his first IC title.
Yep.
'Cause I was thinking this is his second, but that was the US.
Nope, this is his number one IC title reign.
I expect Owens to.
Yeah.
I think he did on SmackDown. I didn't watch it, but I think I heard that he challenged Ambrose. Or Ambrose came out and challenged him again or something.
Well, he's got a title rematch, right?
I would think so.
Yeah, absolutely.
So something happened on SmackDown, though. I'll have to check it out between those two. Charlotte with Flair against Paige for the Divas title. And didn't Charlotte win with the figure 8?
Yeah. After some interference by Ric Flair, quite a bit of chicanery there on his part. We saw afterwards Becky and...
Because I actually didn't get the finish down for this one.
Yeah, we saw Becky and Charlotte again having more confrontations. It looks like that Charlotte is maybe going to transition out of the feud with Paige, or perhaps just Becky will be inserted into that feud.
We both called Charlotte retaining.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much a...
But we both did lose... we both called Owens on the IC title, so...
Indeed, I think it was time.
You did call Wyatt's, and I called Team ECW, so you won there. I think I was 5-2, and you were... Or what was it, 5-1, and I was 4... I can't remember how many matches. 7 matches, so you were 6-1.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, no, 5-1, because we didn't call the Sasha Banks match.
That's right.
And I was 4-2, so not too bad. Okay, yes. Sheamus defeated Reigns in a TLC match for the WWE title with help from League of Nations, which I think we even called that would happen.
Yeah,
Afterwards, Sheamus powerbombed and speared Triple H to the announce table, which was pretty cool.
Yes, and of course that really the League of Nations thing with them interfering, and the whole time I was fully expecting the Usos and Dean Ambrose to come out and help Reigns, but it didn't happen. And they haven't really addressed it that much. They talked about it on the Raw pre-show the next night on Monday, but they didn't really address the actual storyline itself as to why they didn't come out and help. Nevertheless, though, Roman Reigns loses in his championship rematch at TLC against Sheamus, but gets a little measure of retribution by beating the crap out of Triple H, powerbombed him through the table, and then it didn't break, so he got up on the other table and drew an elbow.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Oh, yeah, and I forgot to tell you, this is where the gimmicks get to be too much, because by that Charlotte and Paige match, I was, almost asleep, man. And when we got to this, it seems like, man, I've seen all these spots at the tables and stuff, so it's like we had 2 matches already. It kind of got overshadowed.
I do think that it was a good match as far as a main event. I think the pacing of the show was good.
It wasn't a bad match, but I think with the first match, with the ladder match, and the other one, the table elimination, being so good, it was hard to follow.
Well, there's 2 methods of thinking. You can have every match on a card is great, or you can have couple of great matches and then have 1 or 2 between it for a little rest.
Yeah, that Charlotte Paige was too much of a rest, but they had a payoff with the Triple H thing at the end of that one, so it helped.
Yes.
So that was TLC. I'd probably give that a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I would agree. That's 3.75, 3 3/4 to 4 out of 5.
It was pretty damn good. It was the best pay-per-view they've had for months.
I would have to agree, yeah.
And also the best Raw they've had for months.
Oh, yeah. Let's go ahead and get into that Raw.
And I'm not sure about the ratings, but I'm pretty sure they were up.
They had to be after that Raw, dude.
And you know who it's due to. Due to old Vinnie Mac, who showed up in that first segment, that kicked off with Steph coming out and talked about Reigns beating up Triple H and everything. And then they had Reigns coming out saying he doesn't feel bad about whipping Triple H's ass. Steph slapped him over and over again. I think it was 4 times.
Yeah, she slapped the shit out of him.
She yelled at him and said she's not going to fire him because Triple H said she asked her not to, but someone on the way may do it, and that was Vince McMahon. I was like, hell yeah.
I knew it, man. I knew there was going to be something big happen there as soon as Stephanie came out, and I didn't put 2 and 2 together until just then that it was going to be Vince McMahon.
It shows you how valuable Vince, I hate to say it, but the 70-year-old Vince McMahon is one of their biggest stars right now still.
Always, man.
And he drove the ratings up, and they may have to keep him, semi on TV.
I think they should during the Road to WrestleMania
and get these ratings up at least.
I feel like at least if they have an authority figure that's going to be over, it's going to be Vince McMahon.
Because in my opinion, for 70 years old, he looks great.
Oh, he looks fantastic, man.
Even walking around and everything out there. I mean, you could tell he's obviously aged, probably isn't as huge as he was before, but he didn't look like he wasn't in shape, so.
No. Vince McMahon looking great at 70
It was great
years old.
to see. It was great to see him, but we haven't even got there yet. I'm ahead of myself. Ziggler Ambrose ended in a no contest. Ziggler jumped Owens post match. Owens knocked Ziggler in the knee and powerbombed him. He powerbombed Ziggler onto Ambrose. What'd you think of that whole deal? So, what's this deal with Ziggler and Owens and Ambrose? They're gonna have a triple threat or something coming up. It looks like.
That's what I'm thinking, man. I think we get a triple threat, maybe elimination or some kind of special rules for the Intercontinental title. Not sure if it's going to be on Raw or maybe at the Royal Rumble coming up, but we'll have to see as far as that goes, man. But I really, really like the prospect of those 3 in a match. All 3 of those guys can go.
Right. I thought it was a good spot, good match. It was something interesting anyway. That they didn't just have some kind of match and go on. Steph backstage waiting for Vince, telling, the production assistant that her father will be there any minute. I thought that was a good little spot. They kept it going all night with the anticipation, which they haven't done in a long time.
Yes.
Which I thought was really good. The pacing of this show and the way it was segmented and put together was great. The thing was cool. It was like they had Truth and Bo Dallas, and you're like, oh boy, we got to see this, But you got the payoff because, boom, right in the middle, we heard No Chance in Hell start.
Vince McMahon pulls up, man. That was so awesome to see him just come right down to the ring.
You can go ahead
Get the hell out of my ring.
Right, go ahead and tell him what happened if you remember.
So basically, Vince McMahon comes down and starts talking about how Roman Reigns attacked Triple H and everything that happened, and
disrespected the family.
Disrespected the McMahon family. Something awful in his promo. McMahon's solution to all this was basically to fire Roman Reigns, but Roman Reigns kind of goaded Vince McMahon into giving him a rematch, said he didn't have the grapefruits he used to have.
Yeah, they're shriveled up prunes now.
Maybe they're just little shriveled up prunes. So apparently Roman Reigns is a testicular enthusiast.
He is, because remember he said they used to have, I thought they had potatoes, but you just got tater tots.
Yes, he's talking about balls every week.
Every week, another ball joke.
Fantastic. Roman Reigns is full of ball jokes.
So Vince ends up saying, okay, you get your match, but if Reigns doesn't win, he's fired.
Fired.
And just for good measure, he kicked him right in the nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was a fantastic answer to Roman Reigns' constant ball jokes. And to me, it looked like McMahon kind of called that on the fly. Like he just kicked him in the nads out of nowhere.
That would be great if he did. I mean, I don't know about that, but that's funny.
That segment was fantastic, man, and I have to say that the dynamic between Reigns and McMahon was super, super over with the crowd.
It was.
If any, dude, maybe Vince McMahon is the answer to getting Roman Reigns completely over.
I think he could be, and definitely he's the answer to getting the ratings up and getting the show interesting again.
Absolutely, man. During this whole segment, man, I was like, yes, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Finally.
I'm going to run through these next matches and just tell me what you think. Del Rio, Rusev, Ryback, Swagger. Rusev hit the Savant kick for the win. It wasn't too big on that. What do you think?
Yeah, they weren't all that special.
Who the hell did Neville face? I know he hit the red arrow a few times for the win.
Was it The Miz?
I don't know who the hell he fought. All I know is Miz was shown after the break still trying to get Neville to respect him.
Yeah, he asked if he could teach him how to do his accent.
Yeah.
How stupid was that?
I don't think he fought The Miz. I just can't remember who he fought. I never wrote it down. I know he got the win, though, so Neville.
Well, if you know, guys, drop it in the comments.
Right. Dudley's Rhino and Dreamer versus the Wyatt family in that rematch. Man, that was awesome. Extreme Rules, right in Philadelphia. And that badass promo that they had, too, with the Dudleys and stuff backstage was really cool.
Oh, yeah, man. That match came through just at the right time to perk up Raw. After a couple matches that weren't so hot, after the Vince McMahon-Roman Reigns segment, I felt like this match really picked it right back up.
But I was surprised it ended with Rowan splashing Rhino through the table for the win, so the Wyatts get 2 in a row.
Indeed. That could be the end of the feud for the Dudleys. We'll have to see where the Wyatts and the Dudleys go on from here.
I think it's going to keep going.
Think it's going to keep going?
Yeah, I think something's going to happen here. They got to get retribution on them.
We'll have to see where it goes, man. They may keep Rhino and Tommy Dreamer around long enough for the Rumble.
I heard he was booked for January, Tommy Dreamer, so I think he's going to stick around a while. New Day, Usos, Lucha Dragons segment in ring. It ended with the Luchas and Usos rushing the ring and destroying the New Day. But this segment was great, though.
It was, man. You had the New Day coming out and being somewhat serious for most of the promos, saying what a great match it was at TLC. And then, of course, at the very end, they start putting themselves over, and the Usos and the Lucha Dragons are tired of it. I was glad to see this whole tag team turmoil storyline going between all these teams continue, and I really hope that maybe we can see the Dudleys and perhaps Rowan and Harper tossed into that.
Yeah, that'd be really sweet. That's what I'm saying. Like a 5-way feud would be really cool.
Maybe throw one more team in there. Why not?
Why not? Bella and Fox against Charlotte. Lynch put Fox into disarmor off of Flair. Ankle grab for the win. So Flair helped Becky get the win.
Yeah, so it looks like they're going with Charlotte for the heel. I mean, she's doing all this heelish stuff with her dad, and I think Becky is going to be the one to chase her, and I hope take the title.
Yeah, she's going to end up getting...
I really hope that leads to Becky versus Sasha for the WWE Divas Championship.
She's going to end up getting pissed here in a while and be like, I seen that on the screen, what your dad did and stuff like that, and after a while, I already see what's going down here.
Oh, yeah.
Enough on Lynch and them. But yeah, I definitely see that feud continuing. Well, it's not much of a feud yet, but it's going to happen. Sheamus and Reigns, WWE title. If Reigns loses, he gets fired. do you want to go ahead and do the honors on what happens here, or?
Yeah, I mean, just to kind of break it all down, it was a fantastic match. It really had that big WWE Championship match feel that we don't usually get on Raw. It's usually reserved for pay-per-views. Of course, the League of Nations interferes naturally. Roman Reigns knocks them out, takes them out of it. Vince McMahon tries to get involved at one point and ends up pulling the referee out of the ring.
Before the 3 count, yeah.
Yeah, before the 3 count. And either way, in the end, Roman Reigns, the crowd is super, super into this match. Really, really loud, the Philly crowd was. And yeah, Roman Reigns captures the WWE Championship from Sheamus. Vince McMahon eats a Superman punch.
Yeah, because the ref allowed Sheamus to dump Reigns out, and Rusev and Del Rio were attacking him. And then Reigns ended up Superman punching Rusev and then Sheamus. And then he jumped up and Vince was on the apron and he Superman punched him right on the apron.
Yes, 70-year-old Vince taking bumps.
Sheamus called for that brogue kick but ran right into a spear for the win. And the new WWE champion at the end, Roman Reigns. But man, it's going to be a tough road to hold for that.
I almost wonder if they're not going to strip the title from Roman Reigns. Somehow Vince McMahon and Triple H conspire to strip Roman Reigns of it and maybe, just maybe, put it up for grabs in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, that'd be really interesting. I never even thought that they may strip him of it, but I don't see the reasoning of stripping him really. So,
well, in storyline, you got to consider he's beat up Triple H and beat up Vince McMahon. Although both of those attacks were somewhat provoked. Triple H had hit Roman Reigns before. You know what? This sounds like if they really play all these attacks up, it sounds like we're going to get the return of freaking Linda McMahon to come out there and say, look, you each hit each other and did this, blah, blah, blah. You're both guilty. Here's the solution. Or they could just go with Roman Reigns' strip of the title, go to the Royal Rumble and put it up there. Or maybe Roman Reigns gets to keep it and they have a championship rematch between Reigns and Sheamus at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what's going to happen. I can't even really debate what's going to happen because I'm just not sure where this is headed. But it can't be good for Roman right now.
No, definitely. I think they're going to use the old Stone Cold Steve Austin formula and make Roman Reigns the, of course, anti-authority guy.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to take a lot of consistency like we saw on Monday night this week.
Right.
And at TLC in the future to really get a lot of fire behind Roman Reigns, get the people behind him. I feel like the crowd's still split, but they're starting to come around. But overall, man, between Raw and TLC, WWE definitely took notice of the low ratings and
delivered a hell of a Raw.
Yeah, oh yeah. Raw was definitely hot-shotted. They popped the rating. I'm sure that it went up. I didn't get to look at it.
Yeah, I didn't get to look at the ratings either, but it did go up.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And they said it was because of Vince McMahon.
Oh, I'm sure, man. Just because of how well it was booked. And, part of it is TLC. If TLC has done well, the Raw the next night will do well.
Yeah, but then
and if Raw does well, then SmackDown will do well.
But Vince got the kick in the ass on those ratings, though, and he's like, I'm showing up.
I'm coming back to TV.
I'm showing up, damn it.
You guys can't, if you want something done right, you gotta do it yourself, pal.
That was his motto, wasn't it?
I'm not gonna let Ring of Honor take me out.
All right.
I don't think there's any danger of that happening.
I'm not letting NXT take me down.
We own NXT? Goddamn, pal.
Well, hell.
Okay, so now we're going to go on to NXT TakeOver London and finish out with the news and notes. Just go over here. Emma with Dana versus Asuka. Asuka defeated Emma with a spinning head kick despite Dana Brooke interfering. She got the win.
Great match, man. I love this match. Asuka is so impressive. I think as I've said before, she's light years ahead of the rest of the women on the WWE roster, and I can't wait until we get to see Asuka mix it up with Bayley, Sasha, Becky Lynch, all these chicks. There's going to be some fantastic wrestling. And another chick that we saw a little teaser of between Asuka and Nia Jax.
Yeah.
Before Nia Jax's match, to kind of skip ahead, we'll come back. But
that was interesting.
Asuka standing nearby while Nia Jax is doing an interview, and they had a little confrontation. So that's going to be another great match to look forward to.
Certainly agree. Enzo and Cass with Carmella and Dash and Dawson. I was hoping that Enzo and Cass could get it done, but unfortunately, Dash and Dawson retained the NXT tag titles in a pretty decent match.
I thought it was a great match, man. Enzo
The crowd
and
was
Cass
so
are
into
always
this.
over.
The crowd was so into this thing too.
Oh my God, the freaking chants!
The chants were great.
So great.
So
man.
props to London for giving us a hell of a show over there.
Yes, most definitely. I really thought this was the time to pull the trigger on Enzo and Cass, but it didn't happen. I think that just means that they're going to continue. Maybe we can see something like Enzo and Cass versus Gable and Jordan versus Dawson and Wilder. That would be a hell of a match.
That'd be a nice match. Yes, it would. How about Apollo defeated by Baron Corbin? We called this one right here via End of Days. Looks like Baron's going to get the push over Apollo right now.
I think so, man. Maybe Baron Corbin will be next in line to take on Finn Balor, perhaps. I thought this was a great match between Corbin and Cruz. Both guys still kind of getting comfortable in NXT. Baron Corbin coming into his own.
I think Corbin's a guy that like Vince looks at and wants to get up on the main roster.
Yeah, I mean, he's a big dude. He's a hoss. I know he's one of the guys that NXT's pushing right now for sure. But I feel like Apollo Crews is more main roster ready. I mean, you could pluck him out of NXT right now and put him on Raw, and he would be one of the best guys on the show.
And he's a great promo, too.
Yes, fantastic.
I think he's just awesome all around. So the loss did not hurt him a bit. No. Bayley Nia Jax, NXT Women's title. She regains it via tap out on like a guillotine choke, I would call it. Right?
Yeah, Bayley retained.
Man, it was a hell of a match.
She cut down the big tree, Nia Jax.
Yeah, it took her a long time to tap her out, too. It was a great psychology.
Yeah, I liked it, man. It honestly reminded me a lot of Gail Kim versus Awesome Kong. A pretty good comparison of the two.
Probably
the underdog,
studied that match.
The underdog female wrestler and the larger big beast female wrestler. Man, I really look forward to a rematch with this, but it looks like we're going to have Nia Jax, after her first defeat, move on to face Kana. Not Kana, she used to be Kana, now she's Asuka. Maybe we can get Asuka versus Bayley versus Nia Jax. Toss Dana Brooke or whoever.
I want to say it right now. I really want him to get Karma in there just to face Nia Jax.
Carmella?
Karma. Awesome Kong.
Awesome Kong.
I'm calling her by her WWE name because you know that's what she'd be called if she came back.
Of course. I would love to see that.
I would love to see it, dude. And she said she's going to keep working stateside if she likes the deal. Finn Balor in an awesome entrance, I might add. That was badass, dude.
Oh, yeah.
It's worth going to watch him.
Joe, man.
Yeah, and he took on Samoa Joe for the NXT title. One hell of a match.
Great
Finn Balor
match.
with the coup de grace retains it over Joe, though. We called Joe to win, both of us, and we were wrong. Finn Balor with the retain of the title. I know he's been saying that he would rather stay on NXT and help them out than go to the main roster, so you think they're going this direction because of that?
I would have to assume so for at least the time being. I don't see Finn Balor dropping the NXT Championship on NXT TV, though they have done it in the past.
You know, he pretty much is the face of NXT right now.
Yes, I think we could see maybe Baron Corbin inserted into this, maybe a four-way match at the next TakeOver. I'll have to take a look at the next set of NXT tapings, which of course I don't want to spoil for you, and see maybe where NXT's going in the next couple of weeks.
Well, I got a monkey wrench to throw in. Sami Zayn returns next week.
I knew it. I had heard that he taped his return match along with the other dark matches taped at NXT London.
Yeah, next week.
So I'm sure that's going to be a great one to catch.
Wow.
Sami Zayn, super over, great wrestler.
And,
look forward to him in NXT again. And I'm hoping, I've been saying it, I want to see Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens at WrestleMania, whether it's this year or next year. I want it to happen.
Yeah, but let me tell you something. Sami Zayn back in NXT, didn't he wrongfully lose the NXT title? Wasn't it stripped?
I believe so, yes.
So
he had to give it up.
There's Finn's next opponent.
Uh-huh.
How much you want to bet?
Man, those guys could have some hellacious matches.
I mean, he was wrongfully stripped of the title. He's got every right for it.
He's owed a rematch,
but
I suppose.
But yet, Joe does too, so we could end up seeing a Joe and Zayn match, which would be incredible. I'm glad Zayn's back in there.
I think we're going to see Hideo Itami come back sometime soon.
Yeah, I see him and Asuka in a pairing.
That would be a pretty good tag team. Maybe some mixed tag team matches somewhere.
So anything else on NXT TakeOver other than it was a great show in London?
Great show, man. I loved the afternoon time slot. Started at 3 o'clock here on the East Coast.
I loved that too.
Man, it was just great, man. It was like the NXT Japan special with Brock Lesnar, or I guess WWE. It wasn't necessarily NXT, but it came on at a weird time, and it was just cool. I mean, I've never really watched a live wrestling event at these weird times, and it just works.
We were texting back and forth, and it was fun.
Oh, yeah, most definitely, man.
Okay, so going on to the news and notes here, and before we kick off the news and notes, we got 3 shout-outs, and rest in peace. We got a moment of silence to take for 3 different individuals here, in out of respect. I actually had a good friend, great friend actually, that I've known, all my life, since pre-kindergarten together. He passed away this last weekend. I'll be doing the honors of being at his services this weekend. And he was a Brawl for All pro wrestling show fan on our Facebook page, listened every week. He even told me that night. I actually talked to him, so definitely want to take a moment of silence and big shout out to him, and definitely going to miss him. One of my good friends there. I'm always tough to lose somebody like that, so if I'm a little different this week, that's probably why. Some other shout outs though that we had to do. We had to say rest in peace to legendary luchador Lizmark. The father of Lizmark Jr., I believe, Juan Baños, died at 66 this week. He's one of the 2 people ever to win the NWA World title in 3 different weight divisions. Also, in the other shout out, I think you can help me on this one, Cdub. Big Jim, right?
Yeah, Big Jim Dotson, the former head of security for WWE during the Attitude Era. You probably recognize him. He was at ringside for just about all of the Attitude Era. He had the ponytail, dark hair, and he usually wore a Samuel L. Jackson Kangol style hat, the cabbie hat.
Yeah, and the WWF t-shirt.
Always a WWF t-shirt. He was super jacked. He apparently passed away this week. Very, very sad there. And very sad on all 3 notes. Rest in peace to all 3. Godspeed.
Yep. We're going to take 10 seconds. Here we go, Cdub. Okay, well, rest in peace, guys. All of them will be missed, especially my friend there that tuned in every week. Kind of rough to know that he won't be listening to this, but hopefully, some way, somehow, he's listening to it, C-Dub. So,
indeed, rest in peace.
Yeah, so let's get on to the news and notes here on a lighter note. You told me about this one, actually. Mauro Ranallo, is that how you say it?
Mauro Ranallo.
He's been hired as the voice of SmackDown.
Yes,
and they're going live
hire.
too, so that's great.
Yeah, that's a great hire by them. Mauro Ranallo has experience doing live TV. He was with The Score up in Canada. He's done Pride Fighting, Strike Force, a lot of different MMA. He's got a fantastic voice, and he's a big wrestling fan, so I'm glad to see it. And actually, he's going to be joining both Renee Young, a.k.a. Renee Paquette, and I believe it's Kyle Edwards, who I believe his birth name and name on The Score was Arda or Cal. All 3 of those people from the Right After Wrestling on The Score, all now going to be in WWE. Congratulations to Mauro Ranallo. I think I'm going to have to tune in to this new live SmackDown on USA just because I want to hear how he does in WWE.
When does this start, do you know?
I think it's going to start in the new year, from what I understand right now. As we speak, he's on the road, sitting there at the SmackDown tapings and listening to how it all goes on the headsets, getting used to it.
Used to Vince yelling at him.
Yeah, of course. You gotta get used to having people yelling at you in the headphones there. But Mauro Ranallo, fantastic hire by WWE.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. Slammy's next Monday. Network pre-show announced.
And of course, we're going to do our version of the Slammies, the 2015 Brawl for All year-end awards special. We're going to be recording that right after this. Go ahead and go check it out there on the channel. Make sure to watch. We got some pretty interesting award categories here to go over.
Yes, we do. Yes, make sure you tune in for that. TNA looking for new talent to freshen up the roster for the Pop TV debut. And actually, next week they will begin airing TNA.
Oh boy, maybe TNA can go hire some bums down at the Railroad Depot. Because I'm pretty sure that's all that their budget is going to be able to handle. I mean, you know what? Congrats, TNA. It's always nice to have a place for wrestlers to work, but TNA just sucks. I hate Dixie Carter. All the best to him, but again, I don't really care if this falls flat on its face.
Rey Mysterio signed with Lucha Underground. What's your thoughts on that?
That's a big pickup. I think Rey Mysterio will eventually make a final retirement return to WWE, even if for only one match. But with his knees and health the way it is, it's going to be hard for him to come back to WWE on a regular basis. Big pickup for any promotion. Rey Mysterio always sells a ton of merchandise and is a major attraction all over the world.
I totally agree. That is a huge pickup for Lucha Underground in replace of Alberto El Patron. And I could almost see him making the transition from Lucha to WWE just like Del Rio did.
Very possible there.
Kane possibly returning next week, currently being advertised. So you think Kane can get back into the picture next week?
I have a feeling they're bringing him back for the Royal Rumble. I fully expect to see Big Show, Mark Henry, all brought back on TV leading up to the Rumble.
Next week, though, do you see him?
If that's what they say, yeah, then bring him back. Hey, why not?
I guess it is Slammy night, so...
There you go.
He'll probably accept the award for Taker or whatever if he wins one.
Yeah.
I could see him winning something. Jeff Hardy in need of a knee surgery, so he could be out until late 2016. I've heard rumors of a WWE return for the Hardys. Jeff and Matt, TNA contracts expire in the next 10 to 12 weeks with TNA.
Very interesting. I mean, Jeff and Matt are not getting any younger. Whatever they're going to do for their last big run, now's the time. We'll have to keep posted on that and see where the Hardy Boys end up going. Hopefully Jeff can recover, though, and have one last big run.
Probably 2017, it looks like it's going to happen. Don't forget, Tribute to the Troops, the 23rd, if anybody's interested.
Indeed. Always good to see WWE pay tribute to the men and women of the armed forces. I'm not too excited, as I mentioned last week, of Train being announced. The band, they suck.
Yeah.
But, again, I hope the troops were entertained. Everybody enjoys it. They're doing the big WWE week on USA, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Also, tomorrow night, something cool. ROH Final Battle will take place. And it's announced that Jerry Lynn will be appearing to provide guest analysis of the Jay Lethal versus AJ Styles main event. I was unaware of this, but this is going to be a great match.
Indeed. I'm glad to see Jerry Lynn come out. He had his retirement tour, of course, this year, so it'll be good to have him involved. And there's been these rumors of Jay Lethal perhaps going to WWE and NXT.
Exactly.
So we're gonna have to look at the results coming out of Final Battle and find out what happens here.
Jay Lethal also on. I think we reported on that.
Indeed.
And the last note, just because you're a New Day fan, I had to let you know, this is a note for you. The new unicorn headbands that they're selling, which kind of look like something else to me as well, actually sold out at the SmackDown tapings and are on back order right now on WWE shop sites if you try to order them. So
I'm glad that the New Day strap-on dildo, New Day unicorn horn.
Yeah, what is sold out. How can you not look at that and think that does not look like a sex toy?
It like on Raw, I saw them wear, or maybe it was TLC. They had them on and they like were moving around and they were like flopping around like a dildo.
Well, they're the hottest item on WWE shop right now,
and understandably so.
I think people are getting a kick out of it.
Yes.
Be a unicorn and get yourself a headband. And tune in next week to episode 58. I hope that Cdub will be able to get on here and talk about the Slammies.
Hope so.
Should be interesting. Maybe we can go over ROH Final Battle as well.
Indeed, it'll be our big holiday episode.
But we do have a special episode airing. It's been a long time since we've done a special.
Yes,
the last one I did was the gimmicks. So,
yes.
But this is going to be a yearly special here.
I think so, man. The year-end awards. We got some pretty interesting stuff to go over on that, best and worst. So make sure to stay tuned and go ahead and go watch it right now.
And the reason we're doing it now is because we are coinciding with the Slammy Awards, which air next week.
Indeed.
So every year when the Slammies are going to air, we're going to do it the week before. So that's how that's going to go. You want to shout out Chronochord Media before we sign off here, Cdub?
Yeah, yes. I'll go ahead and shout out Jeff
and
Crow
while you're at it, yeah, Jeff Crow. I don't know what's going on with him. Kind of AWOL on me at the moment. Hopefully the Wyatts didn't get a hold of him again. But I hope to hear from him soon, man. I don't know. If you're listening to this in any way or shape or form, hit me up, man, and get you back on the show. Hope all is well, because we know he's been feeling sick. So
shout out to Mr. Jeff Crow. Salute. Maybe we can get you on here for the your answers for the year-end Best of Awards at some point whenever you return.
Right.
And to shout out Chronochord Media.
Yeah, and while you're at it, just go ahead and tell them to sub as well for the Brawl for All.
Yes, go ahead and sub to the Brawl for All. It's just that easy. Go down below this video, hit that button. We really, really appreciate it. It lets us know that you enjoy what we're doing. Go on over to Chronochord Media to check out some of my content. Just uploaded was the History of the WWE Championship Part 4. We're getting into 1983 and 1984, the rise of Hulkamania, the rise of the rock and wrestling era. Go ahead and go over on the featured channels here on Brawl for All. You can find us, or you can find us at youtube.com/chronochord. That's CHRONOCHORD. You can also find us on chronochord.com, Twitter, SoundCloud, Facebook. Let us know, drop us some comments, give us a sub, say what up. Always, always a pleasure to be here with my comrade Jeff Jaros, as well as Jeff Crow. We miss you, buddy, here on the Brawl for All.
Like us on Facebook and follow us at The Future B4 All. The Future Before All. So, as well. Yeah, Jeff, I hope to get you back on here soon, man. Stephen Lane, hope to get him back on here if he ever can.
It's WrestleMania season, man. The Brock Lesnar of the show has to come back.
He's been doing training right
season.
now for Prison Guard, so that's why he's been going.
Nice. He's gonna be dishing out. He's gonna be dishing out some hard times, like the big boss man.
Yeah, I'm sure he's gonna have some time between though to be able to get on the show after he gets done with this training. So shout out to him too, and yeah, we'll see everybody for episode 58. Thanks for tuning in as always, and I'm gonna say peace out. Cdub, till next time.
Mahalo, folks.
Thanks for listening. Peace.